Hey guys, it is NCSFan001 here, welcoming you to a very special video. First off, I just want to say there are a few reasons I haven't been uploading the last, 2 weeks. Partially because I've been working on this video, and partially because my internet has been totally sucking this last week or so. So I do apologize for this. But anyway, this video is the first 25 LP slash walkthrough with commentary special video. Infamous Second Son was recently finished like a couple weeks ago, and it was my 25th Let's Play, so I decided to do sort of a special to remember the first 25. So, without further ado, let us begin. Over 3 years ago, on spring break of 2011, I decided to start making my own walkthrough style videos. We already had the channel set up, zptv123, me and Payne already had it set up, but we weren't really making many videos. So, my first Let's Play ended up being Call of Duty 4. It was the only one to be titled ZP Walkthroughs instead of Walkthrough with Commentary or Let's Play, because that was initially going to be the title of these Let's Plays or walkthroughs, but I ended up changing that, even starting with my second project. But Call of Duty 4, it was very successful. Well, actually, it was more of a success for me than anything. It obviously didn't get a whole lot of views or anything, but it was more of a success for me because it was my first project and it's still one of my favorites and still extremely important to me for being the first project I ever did or started. So it's just has that special place in my heart and I loved recording it. My second Let's Play, which started about 5 videos into COD 4, was Homefront. Homefront was extremely short, but still it did pretty well. I mean, it did, I think, better than COD 4. Now, I didn't enjoy it quite as much, and it was so short, but I still think it ended up doing just a little bit better, so I'm happy with that. I have no problem with that. It was also the first one to be titled Walkthrough with Commentary instead of ZP Walkthroughs, so yeah. My third Let's Play slash Walkthrough with Commentary was Modern Warfare 2. Now, MW2 started a lot. I mean, it started far earlier. It was initially going to be the first project, and all walkthroughs were going to be with Payne as being a co-commentator. And we had uploaded the very first video, but that was it. We had never finished uploading the entire project. So I just decided to go ahead and do it on my own. So yeah, that was fun. So it was sort of starting back on the project, and it went fairly well. It wasn't great, but it went fairly well. I had my first hater during the project. However, I also gained a bunch of subscribers by the end of it, Itachi being my longest lasting subscriber still to this day. And I got like maybe 9 subscribers out of the project, so that was pretty great. That's sort of where I first started getting some friends and popularity. So my next 2 projects were Black Ops 1 and Killzone 3, and they were done at the same time. Now this was done during a time where I discovered that at my school I could upload videos like really fast. So I was uploading like 4 to 8 videos a day between Let's Plays and specials. And I do kind of regret doing that because it might have been just not the best thing to do ever, but I don't totally regret it, even though I do sort of regret it. I think it just blasted through the projects a little too fast. Now, I enjoyed Black Ops 1 for the most part, and it got some views and stuff. Killzone 3, not so much. Killzone 3 to this day is still my least favorite project and was just not that fun. I didn't really enjoy it that much. I failed a lot, stuff like that. So yeah, Killzone 3 was sort of a first bad project. Then we head into where things got to be a little more interesting with my next Let's Play walkthrough, Mercenaries 2 World in Flames. My walkthrough with commentary of Mercs 2, I believe, was the first or one of the first 100% of the game on YouTube. Now, I did actually sort of expect it to be fairly popular because, like I said, there weren't really any Let's Plays of it, and I enjoyed definitely parts of it, but I didn't enjoy other parts of it. There were some very aggravating, stress-inducing parts, and it was the first really long project I had ever tackled. But of course, it's still to this day one of my 3 most popular, maybe my 2nd most popular overall. So I love that I was able to do that. I got really lucky. I met a lot of my friends and subscribers in that project because going in I had probably like 12 subscribers and 1,000 views. So that was big because that was the project that really started to get me off the ground and get me some popularity. So I loved doing it. Even if it wasn't necessarily my favorite project, I still loved that I got a lot out of it. Now, my 7th Let's Play walkthrough with commentary was Destroy All Humans 2. And that one is an interesting talking point. Had I known it was going to be as popular as it was, I would not have recorded it in such crappy quality. I would have saved it a while. I did not know it was going to be as popular as it was. I didn't think that many people really needed help with Destroy All Humans 2 because I personally don't find it to be that hard of a game. But it is still probably to this day my most popular project. It has my most popular video and probably the first video to ever reach 10,000 views, hopefully soon. So even through that, even though it was in bad quality and all, I really enjoyed recording it. I liked it a lot better than Mercs 2. And I do believe it was the first 100% of Destroy All Humans 2 on YouTube, so I did enjoy that a lot, that I got that designation, hopefully. And it was a fun project for the most part. I mean, I didn't really have too many issues with it. My eighth project, which sort of started around like in between those other two, was Call of Duty World at War. Now that one is also pretty interesting because I enjoyed it a lot, but more importantly, I actually did a lot of it in co-op with Brianville and LOLNet. And that was back when I was a lot closer friends with them, when I recorded a lot more videos with them. And yeah, but I did most of it in co-op with them, and that made it a lot of fun. It wasn't very rage-inducing, and I just enjoyed it. I got to play with a couple of other guys, work on it with a couple other guys, and it ended up being a lot more fun than I expected, so I was actually glad to have done that. It was also pretty short. My ninth and 10th projects started around the same time as well. Uncharted 3 and Modern Warfare 3 both started either on or the day after their release dates. And they hold the designation of both being my first two blind walkthroughs with commentary. Uncharted 3 actually did pretty well in the end when I look back at it on views and stuff. It did pretty well, though I do kind of regret doing it. I'm not as much of a puzzle-solving type game person or an Uncharted gamer as I am with like a Call of Duty game. So because of that, I had more trouble with it than I did with a lot of other projects. Even though I still enjoyed many parts of it, that was kind of an issue I had. It also still currently hosts my longest Let's Play video of all time at like a 40-minute video. So that still holds a record for longest walkthrough video, and maybe even still the longest video in the channel history. Modern Warfare 3, meanwhile, was pretty popular in the end, even though it wasn't necessarily one of my favorites, even though I did better at it than Uncharted 3. I mean, it's another Call of Duty game, so I don't really know what people expected from it with that, so yeah. I did still enjoy it, though. I enjoyed doing that Let's Play. I got still good support from it, and yeah, those were my first 10 projects. Now we move on to what I like to call sort of the second era of zptv123. And by second era, I mean something big happened, because the first era was, of course, those first 10 projects. Now we have the second era, and this is where something really big happened, and that was my new camera. Starting with this, I got that brand new camera that it shoots in way better quality than my old one. Now, I can only record a 25-minute video at a time, but it also had like way more memory on it and a better battery life and everything. So it was big for that because it was the start of a new age for the channel, and I'm glad that I got that new camera. The first project I started with it was Fallout 3, all missions, no death run. Still to this day, that may be my second or third most popular project I have ever done. I loved that Let's Play. I love Fallout 3. I got so much great support out of that project. That one, not as much in views, but it has so many likes, favorites. I got a lot of people that really enjoyed it. And it was a really, really long project, obviously, is why it's not rated as like a 10 out of 10 on how much I liked it. It's like a 9 to a 9.5 just because it was so long and I ended up splitting it into two parts. But I really, really loved recording it. Fallout 3, like I said, one of my favorite games, and it was just a lot of fun to record. I mean, I was still getting used to using the camera and stuff at that time, so I didn't really know all the time what I was doing, but it was still hugely successful, and I loved almost every minute of it. So that was Fallout 3, and my next project, which was done actually during the summer of 2012, I believe it was the summer of 2012, that sounds right, and it was done in the middle of Fallout 3 when I took a break from Fallout 3, and it was Destroy All Humans: Path of the Furon. That had been a pretty heavily recommended game to me after I did Destroy All Humans 2, and I had intentions to do it. It was my first Let's Play, I believe, to be on a non-Sony PlayStation system, and only the second Let's Play I had ever done or walkthrough of a game I had ever done that was not on a PS3. It was actually done on the 360 since there was never a North American PS3 release. And it was a pretty good project. I enjoyed it. It wasn't to 100% like Destroy All Humans 2 was because of the collectibles, though nowadays I realize I could have gone and done those and edited it. But overall, it was a pretty successful project. It got a lot of views, a lot of likes, a lot of subscribers out of it. I believe it's rated as my third most popular project of all time, and I did enjoy the majority of it, even though the game isn't as good as Destroy All Humans 2, not by a long shot. Now we come to my 13th project, which actually was the first one to be titled a Let's Play correctly. It was also my first E-rated Let's Play, and my first Let's Play of a game on a Nintendo system instead of a Sony or Microsoft system. That game was, of course, Rocket Power Beach Bandits, and it didn't necessarily get a ton of views and stuff because, I mean, it's such an old game. It's like a 12-year-old game, so it's been around for a really long time, but it has a special place in my heart for it was my first console video game. And I enjoyed getting to do a Let's Play of it. It was mostly successful, a few bad parts, and not the most enjoyable, but I did like it. I mean, it was a good project. It was a good run. Next up, I did my third ever blind Let's Play, and that was Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Though overall, it wasn't necessarily one of my favorites, it did have, I think, my fourth most popular video of all time in it. That was part 21, Saving the Obama. It's when I saved the USS Obama by accident, because I did not know what the heck I was doing with that storyline, because it had the branching storylines and all. And I somehow lucked into getting the second best ending, including that part of it. And I kept getting so many comments, like even on that video, you know, how'd you do it? And I really sort of did it by accident. I didn't know I was going to do it. So I was very happy with that. I was very happy to get a good ending and get a lot of positive reception with it. So yeah, I'm glad I did that project though, and I'm glad I did it blind because it was fun. Next up came my 15th Let's Play, which was Just Cause 2. That one overall was not very good. It had some really bad haters, and I just didn't really enjoy it a whole lot. It wasn't a very good run of it, admittedly. It wasn't one of my better runs of the game, so not necessarily one of my more enjoyable projects. Probably my second or third least enjoyable, actually. But I still did it, and it still got some views and likes and popularity to it, so I'm not too ashamed of it. Next up came my 16th Let's Play, and this is an interesting one because it's a game that Payne really doesn't like, and he basically just let me have his copy of it. It was, of course, Freedom Fighters, the T-rated sort of early RTS game for PS2, GameCube, and PC. I did, of course, the PS2 version on the medium sort of difficulty, and I really enjoyed the project because it's just a fun game. It didn't necessarily get me a whole lot of views and stuff, but it's just a really fun game that I loved playing through, and I really enjoyed actually getting that Let's Play done. I like Freedom Fighters, and I really hope that they make a sequel to it someday, or at least a remake of it. And of course, the video near the end of it, like the first extras video showing Liberty Island cheats in multiplayer, got a ton more views than I ever would have expected. It has over 1,000. So thank you guys so much for that. I was not expecting that, and I'm glad that it happened. So I'm glad overall that I did that project, and I enjoyed it. Next up came SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and I had already done a joke Let's Play before, and that joke Let's Play was of SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, and I had recommendations to do Battle for Bikini Bottom, so I ended up doing it. It was so much more successful than I expected. I did not expect so many people to enjoy it. I didn't really know I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. It was a really fun project. It got way more views and stuff than I expected. And it was actually a lot of fun overall. I really did enjoy that project. SpongeBob is awesome. That was back when SpongeBob was really good. So I'm glad I did that Let's Play. I enjoyed it, and I know that you guys enjoyed it, so I'm glad that I ended up doing it. Next up was my 18th Let's Play, and this one was a really big shocker to me and a really big moment in Let's Playing for me. It was LEGO Star Wars 1 to 100%. It's the only game that hasn't been done many times on YouTube. It really didn't have any Let's Plays at all of it. It ended up being such a big success, something I did not expect. It is now becoming one of my most popular Let's Plays. It's getting tons and tons of views and likes, even especially on the first part. Even all these years later, it's become so successful. I was not ever expecting it to be like that. It was also a big project for me because it was the first one I was doing a lot of editing with. So it showed me that I know how to edit videos well enough that I can do it in the future. So it was really big for me just because of that, and I'm really glad that I did it for both that and for the views. My 19th project was another heavily recommended one, but one that I didn't end up enjoying as much was Fallout New Vegas. I enjoyed parts of it, and it did fairly well at times, but overall it wasn't really that great. It wasn't necessarily my best ever run of it, and I didn't really enjoy it quite as much. I don't know why. I know I got delayed a bunch of times trying to do it, like with getting sick and with school and all. So overall, it wasn't necessarily one of my favorite projects, but it was okay in the end. I enjoyed it in the end. My 20th Let's Play, so big 20th Let's Play, was Resident Evil 4, and that was pretty fun. By that point, I was becoming a lot better friends with, like, Invisible, and he was commenting on a bunch of it because he's a big survival horror fan. And overall, I did enjoy the project. I mean, it was slightly hastily done, but it was after I had gotten like the 100% trophies. And I did like that. It's definitely my favorite Resident Evil game, so I had a lot of fun recording it for the most part. And it wasn't too fail-filled either. It was only like 14 fails. Next up came Call of Duty Ghosts Blind, and that one did about what I was expecting. It wasn't as successful as Black Ops 2, but it was also way too short of a Call of Duty game, honestly. It was really short. But I did overall enjoy the project, even though it wasn't a huge thing for the channel. It had some good moments. The campaign had some good moments to it. Then my next Let's Play, number 22, was Pikmin 1 for the GameCube. And I did enjoy that. I'm not as good at the game as a lot of people out there, but I loved the game, and I had a lot of fun playing through it. I love the cute little pigs. I love the pigs. They are so cute. Now, I don't really have intentions to ever do like Pikmin 2 because it's such a harder, bigger game. Or not necessarily harder, just bigger game. But Pikmin 1 was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got to record it. I did enjoy the majority of it. A few fails, but for the most part, it was good. I think I ended up like losing less Pikmin than Chugga Conroy did and finishing in the same number of days, which was kind of awesome. Then came my 23rd Let's Play, which was a little more spur of the moment, but still planned out a little bit in advance. Infamous 1. However, it was Infamous 1 all locations, so all the missions. I mean, all the side missions, excuse me. All the districts, all the territories. And it went pretty well because I liked the game and it went pretty well. It went fairly fast, faster than I expected. It was a good karma run and I did enjoy it for the most part. I had some fun playing through it. It wasn't necessarily one of my favorites, but it wasn't bad. Now we come to my two most recent Let's Plays, which were very sort of last-second decisions when I couldn't figure out what else to do. And this next one was The Walking Dead Survival Instinct All Marked Locations. I did not really enjoy that project. It was really short, as I expected, and it wasn't really fun to record. I mean, I don't think there were any other runs of the game that completed every single location like I did, but it was kind of a waste of time. It wasn't really that fun. I didn't really enjoy it that much. So I do somewhat regret doing it instead of just going ahead and doing like Infamous Second Son next or something, but it's okay. It's not that big a deal. I knew it wasn't going to be that great because it's not a very good game anyway, so I don't know what I was really expecting. And then my 25th and most recent Let's Play was Infamous Second Son to 100% completion. This project, I enjoyed it, and I didn't enjoy it in a lot of ways, because it's a great game and I enjoyed recording it. But I ran into so many delays and issues with uploading it and recording it, it was not even funny. I had second semester senior year stuff, picking my college, stuff like that. I had my guys' tennis team, stuff to deal with, senior projects to deal with. Not to mention I was like sick for almost the entire thing with allergies and I couldn't stand them and it made it harder to record or even talk. So because of that, it was kind of not as good at times. And like I said, it was really last second decision. I wasn't really expecting to do it, but I didn't really have anything else to do at the moment. So yeah, that's part of the reason I picked it. But in the end, it ended up being pretty successful, and I only died like 3 times in it. So it was a good overall run, and I enjoyed the game, so I'm glad I did it. I'm not complaining about it. So that was my first 25 Let's Plays. I did do a few other small projects during these first 25 Let's Plays. I've done 2 games of Mario Party 4 with Pain, and I've got 2 more recorded and ready to upload. I did Clock Tower PS1 semi-blind with Pain. I did SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman as a joke project. I did MW3 survival mode to round 15 on all maps. I also did an MW3 game with every gun series. So I did a lot of other stuff along the way. And of course, I've evolved into being more of a trophy hunter now, with getting a lot of platinum trophy videos and trophy tips videos. That's become a bigger thing for me because it's a lot of fun for me. It gets me a lot of views, and I'm pretty good at it, so I like being able to help people out. But now we sort of enter the third era of ZPTV, and I'll go more into this during the summer when I have channel updates during the summer. But with the fact that I'm going off to like college in the fall and everything, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen in the future. Things are going to become probably a lot more inconsistent, a lot more delayed, a lot more stuff like that. But I'm never going to stop making videos for as provided I can continue to make videos. I will never stop. And I will be seeing you guys hopefully in the next few days, finally, after all these delays, for the start of my 26th Let's Play. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thank you guys for a great first 3 years and a few months. I've had a lot of fun doing these Let's Plays. I thank you guys for all your support, all your friendship, all that stuff. I've really enjoyed doing it since the beginning. It's been a fun thing for me to do. I've loved almost every minute of it. And like I said, thank you guys so much for the support. I really enjoy doing all of this. You guys really help keep me going. And like I said, look forward to my upcoming 26th Let's Play in a few days. So, see you guys then.